The North American Last Chance Qualifier for Valorant Champions finally finished up last weekend, and there is a lot to talk about in the Valorant community. Cloud9 Blue is going to Champs, but there is so much more we have to discuss. If anything, we have learned that the North American Valorant scene has so many rising stars, and the world better be ready. Alright y'all, I gotta remind you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, as well as to like and comment on this video. It's that, or forgot to feed Guoba this morning, and he's hungry. Alright friends, we finally made it. Even after a player losing power in overtime causing yet another delay, we have finally finished the LCQ. Tell your friends and tell the world we finally have our last North American team who is going to Champions. The Gentlemen of Cloud9 Blue are going to be the third team alongside Sentinels and Envy to represent North America in the very first Valorant Champions, which, if you're not familiar with the nomenclature, is more or less Valorant Worlds. Zeta, Zeppa, Vanity, Leaf, and Mitch punched their ticket, and they did so in fabulous fashion by only dropping one set, making a dominant lower bracket run, and finally beating Rise in the grand finals 3-0.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
But it wasn't easy getting there. Cloud9 Blue's roster, not to be confused with Cloud9 White, which dominates Game Changers, has seen a bunch of changes before landing on this winning crew. If you remember this past season, this roster has been a revolving door. Names like Floppy, Relics, Vice, Shinobi, Tens, this team has seen a lot of changes. But the one person that's seen all of them come and go, Mitch. Mitch was announced as a Cloud9 Blue player on July 15th, 2020, and he hasn't moved since. He is the only player left from the original roster. He has played a bunch of different agents, and even at one point was the team's IGL before Vanity came over from version 1 mid-August 2021. Mitch has had a year and a half of a lot of changes to adjust to without a lot of success, but finally his patience has paid off and he's made it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of ups and downs since I first joined Cloud9, like a year and a half ago. Went through so many roster changes. A lot of heartbreaks, a lot of finals lost, a lot of qualifiers against, Vanity that we lost. So it definitely feels great to finally make one after all the hard work for the past year and a half with Cloud9.
Given this weekend's stellar result, it seems like Vanity may have been the missing piece to the puzzle to put it all together for Cloud9 Blue. He has proven that his reputation as an in-game leader going all the way back to Counter-Strike is no joke. And if you look at this roster, there is a massive connection between Cloud9 Blue and this little NA team known as Chaos Esports. And if you're new to the world of NA Tactical FPS Esports and don't know who that is, don't worry, baby, I got you. Chaos Esports is an organization that had a North American Counter-Strike roster. This roster included Vanity, Zeppa, Leaf, as well as Steel. The Steel connection's important, we're gonna come back to that later. So, these three had a lot of experience together. If you heard people calling this team Chaos 9, this is the reason why. Now you can tell all your friends that you knew that and be cooler than them. Like I said, baby, I got you. Chaos was a roster in the NACS scene that was actually all released in early 2021. There were a lot of moving parts. Vanity had an impressive run with version 1 in Iceland and became the core of the team's eventual reunion. Now, they're showing signs of the team that NACS fans fell in love with. Anyways, C9 Blue was cohesive and impressive, but I would not be doing my job if I did not talk about some of the other teams. With a very impressive second place finish, we have the underdogs, Rise. Rise might be considered the underdogs having their Cinderella moment at the LCQ. Rise didn't believe that they were the underdogs, but they took that name and they let it inspire them.
We're feeling great because we love being the underdogs. And I just love how everyone thinks like we're not gonna win. So like it just gives us extra motivation going into every single map, and it just makes it more fun too afterwards.
Rise consists of Neptune, Superman, Derek, Poised, and Shanks, and honestly, they are incredible to watch.
Long, swing with me, come.
Okay.
He's up. Nice! Holy.
Rise have proven themselves to be an incredible team to watch, as well as a hard team to beat, including a now iconic fake against 100 Thieves. Did they lose on split 13-0 against C9 Blue? Yes they did. But throughout the tournament, they demonstrated great map control, good gunplay, as well as proving that you can clap back at this tweet from FaZe Baby Bay, who, for the last time, I do not look like at all. I'm looking at you, comment section. Again, he's a good looking dude, but like, I just don't see it. Also, Rise went on to win that set against FaZe and send them to the lower bracket. Rise stayed in the upper bracket until the grand finals, beating teams like FaZe, 100 Thieves, Cloud9 Blue, obviously some of the best teams in the region. So now we talk about the elephant in the room for some of you, and that is 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves had a very interesting journey up until the LCQ. They competed in Masters 3 Berlin and probably had the most star-studded lineup in the world aside from Sentinels. Steel was their IGL, but an announcement was made on September 27th that 100 Thieves would be benching him. Boy would be taking his place with 7 as a new substitute. In July, when Boy originally joined, there was talk that he was going to be on the roster, but it was confirmed that he was just joining as an analyst. But after benching Steel, 100 Thieves brought in Boy as the 5th man. In an interview with Upcomer, Boy said that, quote, "I actually thought it was a smooth transition. I'm playing a role that I previously played on my past team. In terms of roles, it was perfect, and everyone on the team is gelling really well." So, if you are doing the math, the announcement of Steel's benching came just 2 weeks before the LCQ was supposed to start. With Steel out, Nitro was the acting IGL for the LCQ, but it wasn't enough. 100 Thieves fell to Rise in the upper bracket finals, then once again to Cloud9 Blue in the lower bracket finals.
Hearts pounding, hands shaking. This is possibly the final retake 100 Thieves has before the lower bracket. Rise come up with 2. They started off 3 members of 100 Thieves stand. Ethan comes up with a frag. Is this gonna be enough? Nitro not able to get it just yet, and it's gonna be Kiko who leaps out of the window. Rise have secured their last chance on the road to champions. Kiko watching the flank first. Go be first contact. He looks away. Step against Asuna. They're second guessing their angles. It's not working as Boy comes up with a big frag. It's up to him, the newest member of the team. Can he keep this series alive? Boy staying in the ult. He gets hit by Zeppa. That's gonna be the defuse. There's more than enough time. Cloud9 lock in grand finals. They'll face Raze to get revenge.
I would call this a pretty big disappointment for NA fans. Like, if I told you at the beginning of the year that 100 Thieves would not be playing in champs, you would have called me crazy. Well, some of you would have called me crazy. Regardless, Cloud9 Blue let the world know that this was not only for themselves, but for Steel. Remember that connection I talked about? Before all of you try playing armchair experts and try to dictate what 100 Thieves should have done regarding benching Steel and bringing someone else on or whatever, let me just say one last thing. You are not in their scrims. You are not in their practice rooms. You are not on the team. So before you go off sending undeserved hate to Boy or whoever, just think about that for a second. Look, I understand. I have a lot of questions and feelings about the situation, and I love Valorant. Do not listen to this clip of me being jump scared, accidentally reloading, and then saying I hate the game. Oh my god! But I am not going to pretend I know more about the game and team comps and so much more than the man whose job it is to know these things. C9 Blue will be competing in Berlin with the best teams from across the world. But for teams like Rise, 100 Thieves, FaZe, Luminosity, Gen G, XSET version 1, this is the end of their competitive year. We don't know how the next Champions Tour will look or how orgs will adjust their rosters, plays, you name it. What we can say for sure is that NA has proven to be a hell of a force to be reckoned with in the Valorant scene. So let's look forward to not only December 1st with Champions, but the months to come where NA Valorant can only get better. I'm going to emphasize the word can. They might not. It could be all downhill from here. I'm not sure. I'm a Yankees fan. I kind of just expect to lose. But hopefully with NA Valorant, that all changes. Again, he's a good looking dude, but like, I just don't see it. Do I need to get like a necklace? He wears those chains, right? I should have been him for Halloween. Dang it! Anyways. Who are you for Halloween? I'm FaZe Baby Bay.